Hey guys, doing another What's Next. This is on undefeated WBC champion, WBC middleweight champion, Jermall Charlo. He's currently my number 3 middleweight in the world right now. That's 160 pounds. Jermall last fought in, I believe it was December, when he took on Dennis Hogan and scored an impressive 7th round TKO win over Hogan to retain the title. Charlo obviously wants something big next. But haven't heard if the WBC is going to mandate a fight between him and Derevyanchenko or not, or what he's going to do, or if he's an option for Canelo now that the Billy Joe Saunders fell apart. So let's take a look. Let's run it through the top 10 and see what's next for undefeated Jermall Charlo, the WBC middleweight champ. Well, we start with number 1, WBA super champion Canelo Alvarez. Is Canelo going to want to come back down to 160 to face Charlo? According to Bernard Hopkins, he thinks that fight could happen sometime in the next year and a half. So would that mean he would face Charlo in September and take on Triple G later in the year? I mean, I guess that's possible. He wants to fight Triple G in September, but Triple G wants to get an interim fight in first. So we got to see what happens there. What happens with that dynamic? I think it's possible, but I think it's an outside chance for a couple reasons. One, I think Canelo wants to fight at 168 next. Instead of 160, but also I'm not sure he wants to work out a deal with the PBC in his next fight. I think he really wants to go after Triple G in September or face somebody on a higher level, a little bit more known between 160, at 168. But wouldn't completely rule it out, but I don't think so. Number 2 is Charlo versus Triple G. Not going to happen. Triple G has a mandatory defense of his IBF title due next, and then Canelo's after that. So him and Charlo's not next. Charlo's number 3. Number 4, Sergey Derevyanchenko, former 2-time world title challenger. Absolutely think this fight's possible, and I think this is going to be his next fight. Derevyanchenko's number 1 in the WBC, and I believe the WBC is going to mandate this fight. It's been a long time since a WBC middleweight mandatory fight happened, and I think the WBC is going to mandate Derevyanchenko sometime before the virus is lifted, possibly right after they lift the restrictions from the coronavirus, and I believe this is the next fight. Plus, easy fight to make because Derevyanchenko's with the PBC. So I really, really believe that this is gonna be Charlo's next fight, or could be, and I definitely see it happening. Number 5 after Derevyanchenko is undefeated Demetrius Andrade. Not going to happen next. Andrade is facing Liam Williams, and I just don't think Charlo really wants the fight to happen. Matchroom and PBC would have to come together. Not a big enough fight for that next, so I don't see it. Number 6 is interim champion Chris Eubank Jr. This is Charlo, in my opinion, his second best option if he wants a big fight, a top 10 guy. Eubank's with the PBC. He wants to fight Charlo. If he doesn't get the mandatory fight against Derevyanchenko, Charlo doesn't do that, I think Chris Eubank makes a lot of sense, and I think that will be who he fights if he doesn't fight Derevyanchenko. Number 7 is Ryota Murata, the WBA regular champion. PBC would have to work with Top Rank here. I just don't see those two sides coming together. Plus, I really think they're both going to have mandatory fights next. I think Murata's going to face Rob Brandt in a rubber match, and then Charlo's going to face what's his name, Derevyanchenko, but we'll see. Number 8, Rob Brandt. He's with Top Rank. He hasn't fought since he lost to Murata. No way the two sides come together for this fight. Not going to happen. Number 9 is undefeated Jaime Munguia. Not going to happen next. I would like to see the fight a lot. I do think the fight's possible at some point, but not next because these guys are both coming off, just too hard of a fight to make between the PBC and Golden Boy. I think it'd have to be a mandatory fight. And then finally at number 10 is a rematch with Matt Korobov. I guess there's an outside chance of this because Korobov's with the PBC, but I don't think Charlo does it. I don't think he has anything to prove. Plus, Korobov hasn't really done much lately to earn this, so I don't see this one. And, that's the top 10. So what do I think Jermall Charlo is going to do next? I honestly think he's going to face off against Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think that's his best option. He's a top 5 guy. He, fought his ass off against Triple G. If Charlo goes out and whips Derevyanchenko's ass, then he definitely could demand the winner of Canelo and Triple G with some authority, after that. So I really think he's going to go after Derevyanchenko, and I think the WBC is going to lock down Derevyanchenko as their mandatory. That way Charlo has to fight him next, which I hope they do that. I really do hope they do that. If it's not him, I think Chris Eubank Jr.'s next, and I really think those are the only two options on the table right now for him. Outside chance of Canelo, but Canelo's got to be interested. But the fights that he can dictate are Derevyanchenko and Eubank, and I think he needs to do that now. He's been waiting around for a big-name opponent, and he's got two sitting there looking at him in the face. They are risky fights. I do believe both guys have a chance to beat him, but I also think Charlo's going in as the favorite in both, and if he wants to get those big-time fights against Triple G and Canelo eventually, he's got to go through these guys right here, and I really think one of these two options is a really good one, but I really hope it's Derevyanchenko. So that's it. That's what's next on my number 3 middleweight in the world, Jermall Charlo, the WBC champion. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.